Hey friends, Mike and Jess here.
And welcome to Regeneration Nation TV. Today we're reacting to Bob Mortimer's beer partner or Debbie McGee's top hat baby. I don't think I can say that 10 times
Dude,
fast.
these titles on Would I Lie to You are so long. They literally, there's 100 character limit on the titles on YouTube. They take it up every time.
They do.
It is 99 characters every single time. Yeah, these titles are interesting.
They leave you. I'm gonna say they leave you intrigued. You can't wait to watch the episode. A beer partner or a top hat baby.
This is a long one too, man. Usually they're kind of short, 5, 6, 7 minutes. This one's almost 13 minutes.
Well, it seems like it's going to be two different people telling their stories and competing. So I like these episodes anyway.
Yeah. Either way, we've got links down below for this original video. Hopefully it doesn't just fade to black on us like that one a couple
that was
Wilties
so
ago.
Uncomfortable. I was like, what's happening?
This comes from an official channel, the Laugh Track. That's another thing that confuses me though, because Would I Lie to You, it's across like 3 different channels. They've got the WILTY channel, they've got the Ben J Comedy, I think.
Oh yeah, Ben J.
And then they've got the Laugh Track. They just kind of like spread it around. Anyways, that's enough talking. Let's get into this.
Please welcome this week's special guest, Jonathan. So, Debbie, what is Jonathan to you?
Well, this is Jonathan, and when he was a baby, I used to pull him out of a top hat.
Bob,
Like
how
a
do you know
rabbit?
Jonathan?
This is my friend Jonathan, and I have brewed 3 award-winning beers with him.
Right.
Okay,
finally,
I did not believe when he said that.
That was too
But
hesitated.
Bob's too smart. Okay, he knows what he's doing.
But Jonathan looks like he
knows
brews
what he's
beer.
doing. It's true.
He
but
does. But also Miss Debbie McGee.
I don't know.
Like,
He doesn't look like he brews award-winning beer. Okay, he brews beer in his backyard. Is what he
True.
looks like.
Okay.
Award-winning beers with him.
Right. And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Jonathan?
This is Jonathan. One Sunday, the 2 of us spent 3 hours trapped in an automatic car wash.
David's team, where will you begin?
Well, Debbie, so you used to pull Jonathan out of a top hat.
Yeah, he
And
was
so, how old was he then?
about 6 months
6
old.
months.
Was he a rabbit at that stage? He's grown up into a lovely bunny.
What a cougar comment that was.
Oh, she's trying to make eye contact as she said it.
What a cougar
like,
comment
"Don't
that was.
He's going for it, though. Look, he's aflame with desire. Look at him.
That would be so hard to keep a straight
He's trying
face.
so hard not to laugh.
He's got the right hairstyle to be pulled out of a top hat.
Where did this happen?
This was in a summer season
Where?
in Bournemouth.
Debbie, how big was the top hat then?
It was a prop top hat, so it was a bit bigger than a normal one. But, you know, babies aren't very big. He was only about this big.
6 months, not very big.
Yeah.
And so...
And was he the son of someone else in the summer season? Or
No,
was he one of the
it was-
Chuckle Brothers' offspring or something?
No, it was a feature in the show, and we had different babies on different nights. You know, they were like in rotation, and they came from an agency.
So, who would bring Jonathan to the theatre?
His mother.
His mother?
Yeah.
And what would happen to him? I mean, I don't want you to give away the magic trick too much, but where was he stowed to the moment where he's pulled out of the top hat?
I can't tell you because I'm a member of the Magic Circle and I can't give
That
the
is a
secrets
really
away.
handy thing for this game. I like it. Can you come on every week?
I was about to say, wait, that's
She
perfect.
can't give away her secrets.
I don't think it's true, though. I don't think it's true. And if she did do that and it's what she's saying, like, you wouldn't still know this guy.
I
Like,
don't
it's
think-
just some random mom bringing their kid in because they want their kid to be part of some stage show or something. This sounds really weird, first of all.
I think it's true. I think you can track that no matter what. And I don't think that you have to know them as an adult to know that they were the baby that you
the
pulled out of a
things that
top
I'm
hat,
thinking
but-
about when my kids are 6 months old are not anything related to, I wonder what I can sign them up for, stage-wise. Get them early in there, you know?
That is a
secrets
really
away.
handy thing for this game. I like it. Can you come on every week?
Well, don't give anything away, Debbie, but talk us through the trick.
There was a pretend rabbit And then Paul would lift this big top hat from underneath and tipped it forward. And that's when I would come over as the assistant and take Jonathan out and say, and here's the rabbit's turned into a real live baby.
And the audience
And I'd
went,
be like this.
boo, we hate babies.
Yeah, they'd all-
How long did they have to wait to be revealed?
Not very long. It wasn't a very long trick.
So they were only briefly on stage before the
They were only briefly in
reveal
terrifying darkness alone.
Hey.
Yeah.
I know, right? Hey, you know, he is probably 35, 40 years old, 30 to 40. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm
He looks
stretching
like
it too far. He's got a lot of
late
facial hair,
20s.
so if he shaved all that, he would look
Yeah.
a lot younger. But still, you know, it was 20, 30 years ago. Maybe it was a different time where they would just
Pulled babies out
do
of
all kind of
random-
willy-nilly with babies. I don't know.
Which they are in a cot when they go to sleep
Yes.
at night.
And indeed in a womb.
Indeed.
I mean, that is the ultimate trick, isn't it?
Very true.
Who would you like to question next?
Yeah. Bob,
Remind us what it was that you've said. How do you know Jonathan?
Because I have brewed 3 award-winning beers with Jonathan.
what are the names of your award-winning
Oh my
beers?
gosh. I'm reading too much into what this guy's face is saying, but he looked like, oh my gosh, this is gonna. What are they gonna ask me on this one?
Winning beers.
I guess he doesn't have to answer.
He doesn't have to
anything,
say
though.
anything,
But
yeah.
still, he's like,
with Jonathan.
What are the names of your award-winning beers?
The one that's my favourite is called Kiss the Alderman. That's an IPA.
Kiss the Alderman, an IPA,
An
yes.
IPA.
It's an IPA,
Another
okay.
one was a stout, and it was called Retail Park.
Retail.
And the other one was a lager, and that was called Not Now, Madam. It seems funny now. That's why we used it.
what did he even
He
say?
didn't even finish it because
I
he had to
don't know what
cover
he
it
said.
up.
And that
Not
was
now.
called Not Now, Madam. It seems funny now. That's why we used it.
Madam Lager. Kiss the Alderman.
Not now, madam.
Madam, okay.
Okay, not now, madam. Like, I'm glad that David kind of clarified for me because I didn't get that.
Retail Park.
Can I just say, he's written these down, so I hope you can remember them.
How long did you two work together for?
About 2 years ago, I was in a field, Dion, collecting some mud to go and bury at home in my garden. And along came Jonathan, or J-Keg.
He just fucking forget his name, dude.
He just
But,
called him
it's-
J-Keg.
Nah, he's throwing him off the trail with all this. He's throwing. Nah, it's too. It's too much.
And now he's creating a nickname for him, too.
Jonathan, or J-Keg, as I call him. And he said, I recognise you off the telly, you're that Ray Mears, is what he said. And we got chatting, and he said, do you like beer? I said, I like beer. He said, would you like to brew some beer? And
quick.
I said, yes, I would, rather urgently, actually. He's got a brewery, JPEG.
Yeah.
It's a lean-to next to a barn, right next to the field where I was. It's quite big, actually. It might be a lean 3 or a lean 4. So I went in this marvellous little brewery that I'm imagining, and we mashed. Well, part of the process is mashing.
Right.
You put a load of water in the cylinder, and you have to stir the malt barley.
Yeah.
And I did that bit of it. And I thought, I adore this. Is there any way that I could see this process through, and we could call this beer Kiss the Alderman?
What is the Alderman?
He's an unelected council official. Say, for example, let's focus in on Bolton. So if Bolton had a large Chinese community, but there was no representatives, councillors, they would say, would you like to informally nominate one of your Chinese community, and they will become an alderman, and they will sit on the council and be able to represent.
Right. No, that makes sense. So we've definitely covered what happens to the Chinese community in Bolton. However, to the beer story.
Yeah, so that was just the older men. So we brewed 1,000 litres, bottled it, and it was the top beer in the Kent Craft Ale Society.
Can I ask, my husband is a brewer, what hops did you use?
Citrus hops. One of them's called something, and the other one likewise is named as well.
This all checks out.
He's usually so good with coming up with random BS names off the fly.
This all checks out.
You know what? The thing that is the hipster brewing beard. If you were to say to me, draw a brewer, that's what I'd draw.
That's what you draw now. It's very interesting.
He looks like a beer brewer. Or he has
If someone asks you to draw
bourbon.
I was just joking at the
in
beginning
barrels,
about him
like
brewing it in his
smoked-
backyard. You know, he looks like he could.
Bourbon.
He could brew some ale that I might drink. I don't know.
Yeah.
very interesting. Whereas, whereas if someone asked you to draw a brewer 30 years ago, you'd draw someone very different, wouldn't you?
I'd draw you.
Now, what about Lee? Lee, remind us of your claim.
This is Jonathan. One Sunday, the two of us got trapped for 3 hours in an automatic car wash.
Where was it? Where was the car wash?
It was just outside the car. Near where I live in southwest London.
Whose car was it?
It was my car.
And was Jonathan in your car with you?
Correct. He was the passenger.
Why? How do you know
Because
Jonathan?
we can't both drive.
How do you know Jonathan?
I know Jonathan because we're in the same football team.
What is it, a bring your granddad to?
So you were you driving back from football?
Driving to football.
Driving to football.
Washing your car on the way to football. Oh, I'm looking forward to the game, young Jonathan. I really can't wait. But tell you what, let's wash the car first. So when we arrive, everybody says, oh, Lee's doing well.
You drove into the car wash, and what happened?
So, there was 3 options. It was gold, silver or bronze. And obviously, being from the north of England, I was looking for a lesser metal than all 3. But it stopped at bronze. So I went in and I said, can I have a car wash? And he gave me the token, and I went back out and I
Was it a token? Sometimes it's a code these days.
All right, then what he said was, the token is where the squirrel likes to hide.
When I say code, I don't mean riddle. I mean a series of numbers that you put into a keypad.
On this occasion, it wasn't.
You put the token in the slot.
Yes.
You advance into the car wash. The weird things start going.
Yeah, so the big brush at the front that goes over your bonnet, that came towards us.
Yeah.
And then the side ones came. It was the side ones that caused the main issue. They got to the door, stopped, and just kept doing that, and we couldn't open the doors. And it did not stop for 3 hours. I know, it sounds unbelievable.
What? When you climb over...
Dude, we've gotten a lot of requests for Lee Mac. You know, we're trying to go through the Bob Mortimer series. And trust me, we're going to be doing a lot more Wilty after Bob.
For sure. Wilty is so fun.
But, man, Lee Mac's hilarious. This is great.
To the back seat and get out one of the rear doors.
Because it's a 2-door car.
And I'm assuming this happened before the invention of the mobile phone.
No, that was not true. It was during the invention of the mobile phone.
During it?
During the invention. In fact, do you know what we did? We were so stuck, didn't know what to do for 3 hours, we decided to invent the mobile phone. No, it was, his phone was in his sports bag in the boot.
Where was your phone?
My phone was with me.
Why didn't you use your phone?
Because the battery had gone.
How did you eventually get out?
Oh, no.
I absolutely screamed and screamed, and this stranger passing by saw a big button on the thing that said, emergency stop. So he pressed the button, and it stopped, and when it stopped, it reset itself back to how it should be. We opened the door, and I went in. And he went, you're back again. I said, yes, that's about my car. So what's up? I said, tell you what's up. The doors are phenomenally clean.
All right.
Dude, I don't know about that, man. Like, nobody else went to go wash their car for 3 hours.
Yeah,
I mean, here,
no,
there's only one
he's
car allowed
making
in
it
at a
up.
time.
He's
It's just a
having fun.
one-lane thing.
He's having fun with the fact that he has one of the stories that are the lies.
Right.
We need an answer. So, David's team. Is Jonathan Debbie's magic mate, Bob's brewing buddy, or Lee's car wash companion?
Debbie.
Oh,
I'm going with
really?
Debbie on this
I gotta
one.
go with my grandson, Bob.
I really do feel like that's a thing. I feel like that's a thing that happened. I never seen a show like that before.
I would believe hers more if it wasn't just like a random parent that signed their baby up for this. Like,
but she said there's multiple.
I would
children
think that
from
it's
an
like,
agency.
oh, it was so and so. She's part of this whole thing, and so she wanted, you know, we wanted to do something different than a rabbit. We decided to do a baby, and so she just had a baby 6 months prior. That would be way more believable. But the fact that parents are signing their babies up for this,
But if it's the whole premise of the show is to use babies for the magic,
that's crazy, dude.
it is
Sign your
crazy.
baby up for a Gerber or something, like something else. I don't know. I think Bob.
Okay.
I can't believe we Lee's story is the kind of story I would have to invent to tell my husband if I'd been in a car with Jonathan for 3 hours.
Oh my gosh, dude, she is still
I love her. She's hilarious.
Jonathan
She's so
looks like a
funny.
hipster brewer to me.
What do you think?
I think it's Bob. I think they're mates and they've done some brewing together, yeah.
Yeah, OK,
You think Bob met him in a field while collecting mud? He said, come and have a look at my brewery.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, he did say he recognized him. I
Yep.
would, you know, maybe, dude. Maybe if you're about to do something interesting
Yeah.
and you meet a celebrity, that is a good, like, hey, I'm doing something interesting.
Yeah,
like, I
come do
usually
it.
don't do that.
Yeah.
But if it was just any other day, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you, but I'm actually doing something really cool, and it'd be cool if you join me. I would do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going to call our beer Kiss My Alderman.
It's not kiss my alderman. It's kiss the alderman.
I'm so sorry. If it's true, I'm sorry.
Get it
Rob,
right.
you can immediately appreciate why kiss the alderman is much more marketable than kiss my alderman. I certainly call mine the alderman.
But very popular with the Chinese community.
She is. I really
She's
like
hilarious.
her, man. I
I
really
do
like
like
her,
her.
too. We need her name, please.
So, David, what are you going to say?
I think my team thinks it's Bob. Yeah, but let's go.
Okay,
we'll
you're
go
going to
with Bob.
say Bob. Okay, Jonathan, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jonathan, and I brew beer with Bob.
Oh, that's awesome.
You even said he looked like a beer brewer.
I did. I didn't go with my gut. I
didn't.
trusted Debbie.
Ain't nobody damn using babies for rabbits and hats. This is ridiculous.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That's cool. Those are actual, real awesome beer names, though. I would drink those beers. I
Yeah.
really would try them.
Buddy, thank you very much, Jonathan.
Nice.
Amazing.
He does look like a beer brewer. That's so funny.
And he actually doesn't brew it. Maybe he does brew it in his backyard. He looks like a guy who could really actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I was joking before. But it's like he probably does brew it in his backyard, but he knows his shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is
Okay.
legit. His backyard isn't just like your or my backyard.
No, it's
There's
actually
stuff everywhere.
It's a beer brewery and a bird sanctuary because with the nest on the back of his head, that's all I could think about. I'm like, did he fluff that up before he came on stage? Like, because usually it's just like a top knot, which is cool. But he had like a teased, what do they call them? Coif? Is that what you call hair? A hairstyle?
I don't know
like
if that's what that is.
I don't know. It was teased in the back, like he just. I'd never seen a guy's hair like that before, but maybe that's just the way his hair goes whenever he puts it up. I just kept
trying
staring
to
at it.
shoot her shot with him the whole time.
She
man.
did.
And she was crying by the end. Oh, that was great. That was
She
great.
was awesome.
I'm
was
glad
so
that we
great.
got a little bit more of Lee Mack.
Yeah.
Him actually, you know, trying to tell a lie this time.
Exactly. Yeah. He's
Usually
hilarious.
we just get
He's
him
so,
chiming in.
Yeah. He's so sarcastic, and I love that. I love that kind of humor where it just, you're straight faced pretty much the whole time. So funny.
See, man, Bob's too smart. He from the very beginning.
He started.
He
to
was
throw people
trying to
off.
make you, throwing people off. He's like, Jonathan.
Yeah. He made
Or
me
I like
doubt
to call him JK. What? That is great, man.
Oh, that's so cool.
That was a great episode. That was absolutely fantastic. I like the longer versions.
Me too. There's more in there. Yeah. And it didn't go dark. Heck yeah.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week or whichever video. Maybe we'll see you in 5 seconds. I don't know.
Bye, friends.
Peace.
I'm not scared of your love, so show me it. Let